The Vietnamese society has its origins in the late 3rd century BCE, the time when Ao Lac was founded. It was home of the earliest human civilizations in history, who were the first ones to practice agriculture, being rice one of their main crops. The area of the state was formed by natural geographic formations such as the Red River Valley, mountains and jungles to the north and west, and the sea to the east. These characteristics in their geography made Vietnam a difficult target for other countries to attack. This is one of the reasons why Vietnam was an independent and self-contained state for so long. Han troops invaded Nam Viet and established new territories, dividing Vietnam into Giao Chi. In 40 AD, the Trung sisters led a successful revolt against Han governor Su Dong and recaptured 65 states. The basic nature of Vietnamese society changed little during the nearly 1,000 years between independence from China in the 10th century and the French conquest in the 19th century. Ancestor worship was introduced into Vietnam by the Chinese during their long occupation of the country that began 200 years before the birth of Christ. Since then, it has been fully absorbed into the Vietnamese consciousness, and with Confucianism underpins their country's religion and social fabric. For the Vietnamese, ancestor worship is not related to ghosts, spiritualism, or even the supernatural in the Western sense. It is not even a belief in the sense that it is open to question by the believers. The Vietnamese accept as a fact that their ancestors continue to live in another realm and that it is the duty of the living to meet their needs. In return, the ancestors give advice and bring good fortune. The practice of ancestor worship is relatively straightforward. Nearly every house, office, and business in Vietnam has a small altar which is used to commune with ancestors. Incense sticks are burned frequently. Offerings are made, fruit, sweets, and gifts. The later items are paper replicas of dollar notes, motorbikes, cars, houses, and so on. After worship, the paper gifts are burned so that the spirits of the gifts can ascend to heaven for the ancestors to use. In the past, the income from a plot of land was used to maintain the altar and arrange the rituals, but this tradition has now faded away. However, the custom that the eldest son will arrange the ceremonial and inherit the family house upon the death of his parents is still generally observed. One of the most remarkable features of Vietnamese culture is its clothing. The tunic, together with the non la hat, are considered elegant garments. Women use it to go to important events, parties, or even to attend college. The suit is specially designed to highlight the curves and figure of the woman wearing it. The Ao Dai is a Vietnamese traditional garment, now most commonly worn by women but can also be worn by men if it's New Year. In its current form, it is a tight-fitting silk tunic worn over trousers. The woman wears a one-piece dress all closed, without a neckline. This feature carries on Asian culture and respect for it in Vietnam. The garment is correctly decorated and designed. It may or may not include flowers that vary in size and color, as well as a dress that has an indeterminate shade. The dress consists of several layers at the bottom which make it have a flat volume. The woman puts a necklace around her neck that is finally stretched over the fabric of the dress. Another accessory you may have is a small square hat on your head called non la, but it is no longer used today. The man merely wears white, simple, and comfortable trousers. The shirt he wears also has the same characteristics. The typical costume of the man from Vietnam is characterized by not having a certain structure. It can be noticed that while the woman has more details taken care of and the man does not, both are able to enjoy comfort and simplicity in their dresses, what conforms to Vietnam as a unique country, and although it has characteristics similar to Asia, it differs in its majority, achieving its own presence. Vietnam is also well known by its characteristic food and tastes. But what makes Vietnamese food so distinctive of other Asian countries? Vietnamese food has an intriguing mix of flavors, combining fresh and aromatic herbs and different types of protein sources come from its land. Vietnam's variety and landscapes provides many food sources such as the mountains, the long seacoast, and many inland waterways provide fish and other aquatic species that are staples in the Vietnamese diet. Vietnamese cuisine varies somewhat by region, with Chinese influences in the north, as well as Cambodian and French influences in the south. Climate also affects the availability of ingredients, which in turn affects the types of dishes that dominate in particular regions. Vietnam has been influenced by other countries culinary-wise many times. For example, when the Mongols invaded, they brought beef, thus the Vietnamese created the famous pho bo, which is translated as beef stock and noodles. In Vietnam, one of the most relevant elements to preserve is the family, even bigger clans. These clans can be identified by large communities of more than 4 generations where members are related by blood. Their bond is so tight that when someone passes away, it's almost instinct that the whole clan, including the ones who live far away, should come to the funeral, which, believe it or not, used to take almost 2 years. As a conclusion, we can say that Vietnam is a country that takes the respect and honor for their ancestors very seriously. Their customs transmit a very high recognition among all the world. Its history captures the essence of conquer and respect. Thanks for your attention, and now you're ready for the next time you visit Vietnam.